What's up, everyone? Welcome back to C&D Sports Build or Rebuild series, where we talk about teams that potentially need to retool, rebuild, or possibly build up certain areas to improve this off season. So we're sticking with our NBA topic this week, and we did the Raptors earlier. Now we've got the Boston Celtics on tap.
Yeah.
Just got knocked out by the Brooklyn Nets first round.
We couldn't expect much because they were playing the Brooklyn Nets, who are very much a favorite.
They were also playing without Jaylen Brown, their second best player.
Yeah, it really was. And he was still probably their second best player on the bench.
They did not show up. Anyone not named Jason Tatum did not show up the way that they needed to. So
yes, and with that, Kemba Walker.
Kemba's
done.
gone. They're separating. They're going their separate ways this offseason.
Should have kept Terry Rozier.
And I think that's the first of many big moves that the new management now, Danny Ainge is out. So it's Brad Stevens who's taken over as president of basketball operations. Their owner basically told him, and they both agreed on it, that, they are going to, succeed or die trying to get them a championship. So it's
this team, what separates them from many others in their position is they still have value.
Oh yeah.
On their roster. Like they have valuable assets they can trade. Mm-hmm. And cap wise, they're not quite where they need to be to make out a signing.
Yeah.
They definitely wasted it on Kemba, which sucks, but
yeah,
that's how it goes.
I think you can find a trade for Kemba though to get that money back.
Maybe. So where do you see their biggest needs? So when they trade Kemba, do you think anybody on that current roster can step into the point guard role? Or
I like
whether it be Marcus Smart.
I like Peyton Pritchard getting more minutes.
Okay. But I don't know if he's quite ready to be.
No, and I don't think he's quite ready to take the role that Kemba had.
No.
With Kemba Walker, in terms of what you'd get back for him, I think the Knicks would be interesting because I think in a trade with the Knicks, you could possibly get Emmanuel Quickley back for him.
Okay.
Because the Knicks are in desperate need for that point guard behind Derrick Rose, and Quickley would
ideally ahead of him, so Derrick Rose.
Sorry, that's what I mean, ahead of Derrick Rose, and that would mean that Quickley's kind of the odd man out in that backcourt.
Yep.
So I think Quickley could come back. I think if you go with the Knicks, you try to get him back because I think him and Pritchard would be. Quickley would start, and Pritchard coming off the bench for that spark would be good at the point guard role.
Now, what do you think about their forward depth or shooting?
I got one more thing about the guards here.
Go ahead.
I got a bold take for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Boston Celtics try to look for a trade for Dame Lillard?
So
it's going to be a lot of financial work, but you think about it.
They give up Kemba and what else?
I don't even think it's Kemba at this point. I think they just try to make magic with picks there.
Okay.
Maybe you have to send Marcus Smart the other way.
So I was going to say is when you retool this team, I don't see the point in keeping Jaylen Brown, Evan Fournier, and Marcus Smart.
No, I think Jaylen Brown you keep.
Oh, no, okay, not all of them. Jaylen Brown you keep, but because you have Jaylen Brown,
I think Fournier's as good as gone.
He may not return. So okay, maybe you do end up keeping Smart.
And you could keep Smart, and I think in that case, if they can make it work, maybe Brad Stevens is on the phone calling about Dame Lillard, because if they have a big three of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Dame Lillard now becomes the best player on that roster. Maybe they can do something. It'll be interesting. It'll be tough.
It'll be tough first off to make the trade, and things didn't go well when they had Kyrie. Not to say Kyrie's better than Lillard.
I think Kyrie's got a little more of a personality than Lillard does, and Lillard is very much he's focused on winning.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna come out here and say that this is the answer for the Celtics. It would certainly be an answer for this. It's going to be tough to
imagine a trade
because they are pressed financially right now.
I don't know. Yeah, the offers. This is another topic. The offers for Dame. It's tough to project what Portland's going to get back. But what Boston can offer, I don't think will be enough because in terms of the future, Boston's going to be a playoff team, so their picks aren't worth all that much unless they dig far into the future.
So it'll be interesting. I think it's an option now that he's available.
Yep.
And the fact that Kemba's gone and it opens up a point guard need.
Or is going to be gone. Yeah.
Exactly. And you hear some of the division rivals like the Knicks looking at and calling about Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
That you kind of have to also call just to gauge, because if the Knicks get them, that's another team you got to beat beyond Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So, and the Sixers too.
Boston, yeah, if they want to win, they definitely need that big piece. Even with Dame, it's going to be tough, but
Yeah.
it puts them back in the mix where they need to be.
Now, if they don't get Dame, I think another big need for them is going to be at center.
Yes.
At center, they've just been. I like Robert Williams defensively. I don't like Robert Williams playing a bulk of the minutes at center. So this is where a guy like Nikola Vucevic, I think, looks very interesting.
Yep.
I think once they trade Kemba, they have that sort of financial relief there that they could pay a guy like Vucevic and try to make something work.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not bringing back Evan Fournier, I think you can move a lot of money around to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I think he would be another big piece, an all-star piece coming in there. That I think that's another way you could formulate a big three. Maybe not as strong as if you get Dame Lillard, but it's another way you can formulate a big three.
Yeah.
And then they could keep, and it's just an aspect that a lot of these other teams don't face or don't have.
Yeah.
Nikola Vucevic would easily be the best center behind Joel Embiid in that division because the Nets don't have it. The Knicks don't have that. So it's something that can differentiate you in that division because you're going to have to play them a lot.
Yep.
And you're going to have to find ways to, because I don't know if they can be better than the Sixers. I don't know if they can be better than the Nets, but you have to find ways to at least stay competitive there.
Yeah.
And I think going for that home run swing with a point guard but logically, if you are worried about finances, I would go with the center route and look at a guy like Vucevic or maybe Nurkic if you can't land him.
Yeah.
Because Tristan Thompson didn't cut it. Daniel Tice didn't cut it when they made the Eastern Conference Finals. That's why they lost, because they didn't have that in 2020. They didn't have that threat to counter Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
So, and that's what they needed. They didn't bring that in this
big spot.
They didn't bring that in this season, and it showed, and they struggled. So.
Yeah. I agree 100%. A lot of teams are going to need to go out and get them a center.
Yeah.
Just to stay competitive with a team like Philadelphia. Teams in the East, at least.
It's just a way to look different in a league that's very three heavy.
Yeah.
And it's just and you see what Phoenix is doing with DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
You see what Philadelphia is doing.
No, it's going back to...
See what Denver's doing.
It's going back to the days where you need to focus on your big spot.
And it's not the rough and tough big spot that we used to see with guys like Karl Malone.
These guys are so much more talented.
But it's a lot more agile bigs. And it's now not just the Steph Curry Wild West shooting from three.
If you don't have an offensive big, you at least need a very good shutdown defensive big.
Like Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So the need for a big is still there. And I'm glad that that's coming back and we're not trending away from centers.
Yeah.
Because it just makes the game, it adds that layer of intrigue.
Yep.
So that's it for this series here. Make sure if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe down below so you don't miss any of our build or rebuild series because we've got more planned throughout the summer. Make sure to check the link in our description below to find all the links to our socials. So again, you don't miss any of our updates. And yeah, we will see you back next week with more build or rebuild. And that's it for us. Peace.